Drugs Inc. Coke Kings and Queens. You might want to bear with me because there is a big piece of information reveal slash insight that you're going to want to hear about this episode. So, now, do you remember in 2012 the Olympic coverage talking a lot about the booming drug business in London? I don't think so. But apparently there were all kinds of drugs being snorted, sniffed, smoked, injected, inhaled, all types of things. Because London apparently has quite a lot of drugs, especially cocaine and marijuana. So speaking of that, the Postman in this episode, who is a drug dealer, and he delivers drugs to a lot of apparently well-off people, from celebrities to business types. And he says one of the ways he does it is he must have a whole lot of empty phones. He jams some drugs in the phone, and then either him or somebody else that he has working for him goes up to one of these people and says, "Your friend left his phone with me the other day." Wink, wink. So next time you see a celebrity or bigwig accepting a cell phone from some random guy, you know they are doing some coke. Also, this Postman, according to him, on a good week, or if he sells a kilo of cocaine, he makes or pockets $14,550 for the week, which, according to my calculator on my computer, is $754,000 a year. Now that's if he sells a kilo a week. Now, maybe he has a crappy year and he does $500,000. He has a great year and he hits that $750,000 or more. But my question is, what does he do with all the cash? I mean, is this guy rolling around in a Maybach? Is he have multiple homes, or does he just kind of lay low and launder the money, hide it up in the mountains or in the earth, or what does he do? Apparently there's 250,000 coke users in London, and 99% of cash has traces of cocaine on it. That's pretty phenomenal. Oh, and the thing, you remember the two ladies, Olivia and Louisa, who had their masks on because, we couldn't recognize them at all. If you knew them in a work environment, or as a friend, you would know they were doing coke, but in a work environment or somebody that they did not want to recognize them, you'd probably recognize them, right? So they're busted. Oh, and it was interesting to see that there's a lot of marijuana being grown in London. I had no idea, and that 80%. What did they say? That 80% of the marijuana that is used in London is grown there. That they've become an exporter of marijuana, which is pretty interesting. Unfortunately, some of these nurseries are being run by Vietnamese and Chinese people and using children and crazy stuff. Let's see. Oh, and then the guy who was the fixer, who had that cool little getup, looked like he was an older gentleman, maybe in his, I don't know, around 50 or so, been doing this for quite a while, said that Eastern Europeans, Polish and Albanians, for example, are now dominating the cocaine business. And according to him, quote, their whole objective is to steal the drugs. They are very difficult people to deal with. No morals, no principles, no scruples. And they will do anything to earn money, including selling drugs, like the guy who's saying this. And, right. So two last things to make up my point, to wrap it all up, was fascinating that certain drug dealers employ security professionals to monitor their drugs and transactions, right? To make sure that no one's stealing their stuff, that everything is kosher. Now, last time I checked, now these are two guys in the show driving around in a nice car, watching to see what goes down and making sure that their employees or their employer is having their drugs sold the right way, not being, jacked. So last time I checked in the United States, these guys are called guns. And Mr. Fantastic, the marijuana grow consultant, he was pretty interesting. He's going around to people's grows in their basements and their attics and whatnot, and making sure that their marijuana plants are up to par, up to snuff, and are gonna be providing the growers with much needed income. And the guy that they featured, who also had a lovely mask on, brandished some sort of samurai sword as his protection. Right? He didn't take out a Glock. He didn't take out a machine gun of some sort, semi-automatic gun, any type of gun. It was just a sword. So my big insight is there were no guns that I could see or remember in this episode. Police don't have guns in England. And guns are there's a lot, they're highly restricted in England. It's difficult to get them, which is why there's so few murders by homicides by guns. So after, seeing all of these episodes of Drugs Inc. over these last few months, how many guns do we see? Not only police officers but drug dealers having a lot, and there are none in London. Essentially, you're going to get cut up. You're going to get thrown in the water. You're going to get beat up. You're going to get stabbed. More than likely, you're not going to get shot though.